Assalamu alaikum everyone. Walaikum salam, Hania. Okay, so first of all, I hope that you guys can all hear me. Is the transformation series finished? Yeah, as far as O-level math is concerned, yeah, transformation series is finished. I will do a stream where I solve past paper questions, but conceptually, yeah, it's finished. Walaikum salam. Sir, is there any video for measuring circle? What do you mean by measuring circle? Walaikum salam. Okay, so let's start, shall we? In the last class, actually not in the last class, but in the last stream, we solved. The plan was to try and solve all past paper questions, but I think that was a bit over ambitious on my side. We were unable to do that, but we did manage to solve, I think, 5 or 6 questions. Six. Yeah, so we managed to solve 6 questions. Okay, and as far as this document is concerned, by the way, I've shared this document in the description, so you can download it from there. Okay, and I think I've also shared notes of equations of circles in the description. So can you please make video on A-level trigonometry? Yeah, trigonometry, differentiation, functions, these are on my list. You will inshallah find videos on these topics on the channel, either videos or live stream, whatever, before your mocks, hopefully. Okay, before CIs, definitely inshallah, but hopefully before your mocks also. Anyway, so let's get into it. Okay, so here it says the equation of a circle is x squared plus y squared minus 4x plus 6y minus 77 equals to 0. Find the x coordinates of the points A and B where the circle intersects the x-axis. Okay, now normally when you look at an equation that looks like this, you would first try and make it like an equation of a circle, but that's not necessary, at least for the first part. Okay, so if you want to find out the point at which the circle intersects the x-axis, that means immediately what you have to do is you have to plug in y as 0. Okay, and yeah, you can do that without writing it in the form of like you would normally write as far as the equation of circle is concerned. So x squared plus 0 minus 4x plus 0 minus 77 equals to 0. So let's see what we have. We have x squared minus 4x minus 77 equals to 0. So what can we do over here? We can do middle term breaking. Okay, or if you want to save some time, if you're like me, if you're lazy like me, then you can use your calculator. But whatever it is that you use, make sure that you show your working here. So factors of 77 that leave you with minus 4 are definitely going to be minus 11x and plus 7x. Minus 77 equals to 0. So we factor out x, and then we have x minus 11. Then we factor out 7, and then we have x minus 11 again. Okay, so now we have x plus 7 into x minus 11 equals to 0. So x equals to minus 7 or x equals to 11. That's it. That's the answer. There you go. Sir, are you planning to do AdMath live streams? Yes, inshallah. I will do AdMath live streams also. Sir, I'm having a hard time with coordinate geometry. Is any video uploaded before regarding it? See, as far as coordinate geometry is concerned, just coordinate geometry, it's a lot like O-level coordinate geometry, O-level math coordinate geometry. There's nothing exceptionally difficult in coordinate geometry as far as AS is concerned. Okay, yes, the questions are challenging, but conceptually it's the same thing. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so we have the answer to part A. Easy does it. That's it. Okay, now part B, which says find the point of intersection of the tangents to the circle at A and B. Okay, so this is a 6-mark question. Okay, so and well, there's not a lot of space that's given, but anyway. So you have to find the point of intersection of the tangents to the circle at A and B. Okay, now it's always a good idea to first make a sketch of what it is that you have to do. Oops, sorry about that. that'll give you an idea as to where the points are. Okay, now, so minus 7 and 11. So minus 7 is going to be somewhere over here, let's say. This is minus 7. This is the point A, which has coordinate x equals to minus 7. Okay, and what is the y coordinate going to be? The y coordinate definitely is going to be equal to 0. Okay, and then B is the point, B is another point where the circle intersects the x-axis, and that has coordinates 11. So here's point B with coordinates 11, comma 0. Now what do you have to find? Here's what you have to find. You have to find the point of intersection of the tangents to the circle at A and B. Okay. Can I use your channel for my GCSEs? Yeah, of course you can. Okay. Now, the one thing that you have to find out before you can find out the equation of the tangents is the center. Okay, so the one thing that you have to find is the center of the circle. Now, how do I find out the center of the circle using the equation? Question for you guys. So I'm writing the equation: x squared plus y squared minus 4x plus 6y minus 77 equals to 0. Okay, so question for you guys: how to find out the equation, how to find out the coordinates of the center using the equation. Okay, so I'll repeat my question. How to find out the coordinates of the center of the circle? Okay, so here's how this goes. First, you rewrite x squared minus 4x. Okay, you leave some space because you're going to add something to complete the square. Find the line that connects them, then perpendicular bisector. Not really. Not really. Okay, so you have to write the equation in a way so that it's easy for you to find out the equation of the coordinates of the center. Equals to what? Equals to 77. Okay. Then what is it that you add over here? You add this half of the square of the coefficient of x. So what's the coefficient of x? It's 4, but it's minus 4, but we're just going to take it as 4. So you add the square of half of it, so that's plus 2 square, and then you add plus 3 squared over here. So that means you do 2 squared on the right hand side and you add 3 squared on the left hand side also. Okay, so this compresses into what? This compresses into x minus 2, the whole thing square, and this compresses into what? This compresses into y plus 3, the whole thing square. Okay, and what do we have on the right hand side? Let's see. On the right hand side we have 77 plus 4 plus 9. That's equal to what? That's equal to 90. Okay, 77 plus 4 plus 9. Let me just double check that. 77 plus 4 plus 9. Yeah, that's equal to 90. Okay, now what do we have? We have the coordinates of the center. Okay, so the coordinates of the center are what? The coordinates of the center are now 2 comma minus 3. Okay, now there's a lot of work. Like I said, it's a 6-mark question, so what I'll do is I'll just insert a blank page in between. Okay, although I'm pretty sure that there was extra space given. Okay, probably missed the page out when compiling them. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is you want to find out the equation of the tangents. Okay, so how do you do that? First things first, you find out the gradient. Let's call this center point C. So you find out the gradient of AC. How? 0 minus minus 3 over minus 7 minus 2. So that's 3 over minus 9, which is equal to what? Which is equal to minus 1 over 3. Now, quick question for you guys. If the gradient of this radius is minus 1 over 3, what will be the gradient of the tangent? Remember that tangent forms a 90-degree angle with the radius. Okay, so keeping in mind that the tangent forms a 90-degree angle with the radius, what will be the gradient of the tangent? And I'm going to call this T1 so that it's easy for us to refer to it. Okay. Why don't you have any video on variations? It's a fairly easy topic. Honestly, nobody has ever asked for a video on it. So yeah, that's why. Okay, so what will be the gradient of tangent? Since the gradient of the radius is -1/3. 3, that's correct. Good job. So the gradient of tangent is 3. So now we're going to use this gradient and we're going to use the coordinates of -7, 0 to find out the equation. So y minus 0, yep, negative reciprocal, that's how it is. Y minus 0 is equals to 3 into x minus -7, which then becomes x plus 7. So now the equation is y equals to 3x plus 3 into 7, which is 21. So we park this on the side for now. And now we have to find out the other equation, the equation of T2. Okay, so now let's find out the gradient of BC, for which we will do 0 minus -3 over 11 minus 2. So 0 minus -3 is 3, 11 minus 2 is 9. So the gradient is equal to 1/3. Now what will be the gradient of tangent 2? That's going to be -3. So that's -3. And the point through which it's passing is 11, 0. So there you go. This will be m. The equation will now be y minus 0 is equals to -3, x minus 11. Okay, so now what do we have? We have y equals to -3x plus 33. What do we do next? We take equation number 1 and we take equation number 2 and we solve them simultaneously. And I just realized I think there's just enough space to find out the value of x and y. So if I solve them simultaneously, that's like equating the two equations. 3x plus 21 equals to -3x plus 33. So now we have 6x is equals to 33 minus 21, which is equal to 12. The value of x is equals to 2. And now to find the value of y, we use any one of the two equations. Let's say we use 3x plus 21 and 3 in place of 2. In place of x, we write 2 and plus 21. So 3 times 2 is 6. 6 plus 21 is 27. And there you go. You now have your point of intersection, 2, 27. And that's it. That's the answer. This is from, okay, good question. This is from 2021, paper 1, variant 1. As you know, that equation of circles was added fairly recently in the AS syllabus. So that's why we don't have a lot of questions of this topic. Anyway, so here's another question. This is also from May, June 2021. And this is paper 1, variant 2. Okay. So it says here, the point A has coordinates 1, 5, and the line L has gradient -2/3 and passes through A. A circle has center 5, 11 and radius √52. Show that L is a tangent to the circle at A. Okay. Now, if I'm honest, just by reading the question once, I have no clue as to what's going on in the question. Okay. So what I will do is I'll make a rough sketch. Okay. So it says the point A has coordinates 1, 5 and the line L has gradient -2/3 passes through A. So 1, 5, let's say, is somewhere over here. Let's say this is point A. Okay. A circle has center 5, 11. Okay, that means now I'm going to have to redesign the whole thing. If the center is 5, 11, okay, then 1, 5 has to be slightly towards the left and slightly downwards also. Show that L is a tangent to the circle at A. Okay, yeah. So can you please do a video people should take maths in A levels? Okay, that's something that maybe I can do that later. Okay. Anyway, let's see. Now it says a circle has center 5, 11 and radius √52. Show that line L is a tangent to the circle at A. Okay. So if you talk about line L has gradient -2/3. Okay, so that means it's a downward sloping line. And if it's supposed to be tangent to the circle at A, that means point A lies on both the line as well as the circle. And this point has coordinates what? This point has coordinates A, 1, 5. Now, if I have to show that this line is tangent to the circle, it obviously has to do with the gradient. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. The first thing I will do is I'll find out the equation, the gradient of AC, where A is the point and C is the center. So that's going to be 11 minus 5 over 5 minus 1. So 11 minus 5 is 6. 5 minus 1 is 4. 6 upon 4, when you simplify it, is 2 upon 3. Okay, now if two lines are tangent, that means the product of their gradient is going to be equal to what? The product of their gradient is going to be equal to minus 1. And we can see that is the case. If you multiply the two gradients together, you do actually end up with minus 1. So there you go. That is, we have proved it, that they are indeed tangent. Okay, then it says find the equation of the other circle of radius root 52 for which L is also tangent at A. Okay, now this is interesting. So let's copy this and paste it over here. Okay, now what you have to do is you have to find out, let me just rewrite this using less space, 1 comma 5. Yeah, now there's another circle apparently which is also tangent to this line right here. Okay, and it has the same radius. Okay, now using this information you have to find out the equation of this circle. Okay, so what do you think? What concept are we going to use over here? Considering that these two circles are of same length, in fact, to give you guys a bit of a hint, let's say that the center of this circle is C2. Okay, so now tell me, what concept is it that we're going to use over here? Let me rewrite the coordinates of point A once again. This is point A. It has coordinates 1 comma 5. Okay, anyone who'd like to answer this question? It's not that difficult. It's not that a difficult question. Vector. You can use vector, but let's say we haven't done vectors. Okay, let's say you don't want to use the concept of vectors. What else? There's an easier way. Okay, I'll tell you. So considering that these two circles are the same, that means they have the same radius. And if you think about it, technically this circle right here is a reflection of this circle. Okay, so if you think about it, this circle C2, which has center C2, is a reflection of the circle that has center C1. Okay, so that means A will be the midpoint. That is the correct answer, Hanya and Edwin. So if C2 has coordinates x and y, we can very easily find out the coordinates of the center. How? Because CA is basically, let's write it over here, A is midpoint of C1 and C2. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. X plus 5 over 2 equals to the x coordinate of the midpoint, which is 1, and y plus 11 over 2 equals to the y coordinate of the midpoint, which is 5. So x plus 5 equals to 2. That means x equals to minus 3, or y plus 11 equals to 10, which means y equals to what? Y equals to minus 1. So aren't you watching the World Cup? Well, I wanted to watch the match, but then after I announced this live stream, I realized that it's clashing with the match. So that's why I decided to go ahead with the live stream. Okay, but anyway, I'll watch the highlights, don't worry. So x minus, so now that we have the coordinates of the center are minus 3 and minus 1. Now we can form an equation very easily. X minus minus 3, so that becomes x plus 3, plus y minus minus 1, that becomes y plus 1, the whole thing squared, equals to 52. There you go, r squared, which means root 52 squared, and that's how we have 52. So who's playing who today? I'm sorry, I'm not following the World Cup that religiously, but I'd still like to know. Okay, here's question number 9. This is also from May June 2021, but this is paper 1 variant 3. Okay, so it says show that angle ABC is equals to 90 degrees. So that's fairly simple. Let's find out the gradient of the points A and B. 0 minus 3 over 3 minus minus 2. 0 minus 3 is minus 3. 3 minus minus 2 is 5. Now let's find out the gradient of the point BC, which should be 5 upon 3. Let's see if that's the case. 5 minus 0 over 6 minus 3, which is equal to 5 upon 3. Okay, and then just write this little statement over here, that minus 3 upon 5 into 5 upon 3 equals to minus 1. Therefore, angle ABC equals to 90 degrees. Okay. Okay, now 2 comma minus 3. कैसे हैं? I am good, Anik. Thank you for asking. Okay. Now it says, hence state the coordinates of D. Let's see. So coordinates of D. So basically, if you look at the question, if you go back, the question says 2 comma minus 3. Is that what you guys said? 2 comma. Hence state the coordinates of D. Okay, I think you guys are giving me the answer to part B. Okay, so let's see. In order to find out the coordinates of D, let's first try and understand what the question is. So the question is that points A, B, and C lie on the circumference of a circle with center D. Okay. Is the stream lagging? Because I'm getting an error that the stream is lagging. Sir, do you know Sir Adnan Hashmi? No, I'm afraid I don't know Sir Adnan Hashmi. Acha, quickly let me know. Is the stream alright or is it lagging? Okay. Hopefully it's going to be fine now. Anyway, so if angle ABC is 90 degrees and if all 3 points happen to lie on the circumference of the circle, what can you tell me about line AC? Okay, and put some thought into it before you give me the answer. If ABC is 90 degrees, okay, and all 3 points happen to lie on the circumference of the circle, what can you tell me about the line AC? So what does it mean if a circle lies in the 4th quadrant? That means it lies below the x-axis and on the right side of the y-axis. That's what it means. Okay, just a second. I'm going to try and refresh the stream so that... Just a minute. Yes, that means it's the diameter. That's correct. Okay, so if it's the diameter, how do we find out the coordinates of A? Sorry, how do we find out the coordinates of the center D? We can do that by simply finding out the coordinates of the midpoint. So we have the coordinates of A, we have the coordinates of C, 6, 5. Now all I got to do is find out the midpoint. Minus 2 plus 6 upon 2 and 3 plus 5 upon 2. So minus 2 plus 6 is 4, 4 upon 2 is 2, 3 plus 5 is 8, 8 upon 2 is 4. And there you go. Now we have the coordinates of D. Okay, now here's another question. Find an equation of the circle. So now that we have the coordinates of the center, now you can use any 2 points, okay, in the sense that you can use A with the center D, or you can use D with this, you can use CD or BD, any one of the 2 points to find out the radius of the circle. So let's say we use A and D. So A has coordinates minus 2, 3, and D on the other hand has coordinates 2, 4. So let's find out the radius, or just R square. So 2 minus minus 2, the whole thing squared, plus 4 minus 3, the whole thing squared. So R squared equals to 4 squared, which is 16, plus 4 minus 3, the whole thing squared. which is 1, so r squared equals to 17. And there you go. That's enough information for us to find out. Just a second. That's enough information for us to find out the equation of the circle. Okay, I'm really sorry about that. I don't know why the internet is bothering today. Anyway, so we now have x minus 2 the whole thing square plus y minus 4 the whole thing square equals to r squared, which is equal to square root of 17, and that's 17. Okay, now here that was another that was question number 9. Now we have another question. Now, by the way, we are now done with May, June 2021. Now we're doing October, November 2021. Okay, now let's see what this says. So this says a circle with center 5, 2 passes through the points 7, 5. Find an equation of the circle. Okay, so fairly simple. We have the center. All we have to do is find out the radius. So that's going to be 7 minus 5 the whole thing squared plus 5 minus 2 the whole thing squared. So 7 minus 5 is 2, square of which is 4. 5 minus